Hello, everybody, and welcome to Planet FPL, the world where everything revolves around Fantasy Premier League. My name is Suj.
And my name is James.
Today revolves around quiz, Premier League A to Z. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a slightly different twist on a quiz. I reckon in a lot of quiz rounds in the past, people may have played quizzy games similar to this. But James, explain what's going to happen and let's get into it.
Okay, slightly different approach this week. First thing to say is get yourself a pen and paper if you're joining in, because you absolutely will need it for this one. There are 26 questions in all. Each question will represent an answer that is one for each letter of the alphabet, hence 26 questions. It does not mean that question one is A, for example. It could be random, could be anything. So they're not in order. So the idea is some of the questions are very easy. Some I'd say are a medium difficulty and some are very hard. But the answers that you give in other questions should, even for the difficult ones, narrow down what the potential answer will be. So there's some you're going to hear, and I think you're going to be like, that could be anyone. But once you start getting some other answers, it can lead you to a definitive answer. So Correct. each answer will be a different letter. So question one could be Z. Question two could be F, whatever.
So
right?
Yeah, it's important to clarify that it's not A to Z in order. It's random in terms of the letters.
So I want to give you an example, and this isn't part of the quiz. So if I said to you, Suj, question one, who is Liverpool's highest appearance holder in the Premier League? You would say to me?
Michael Owen.
Okay, so if it was Michael Owen, you would say O. You've
Correct.
absolutely stitched this up.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's probably not
I was on the assumption there, Suj, that you were going to say one of two people.
Gerrard. Steven Gerrard.
All right, let's go Steven Gerrard. That's better.
And just to be clear, we're going with surnames for the letters, yeah? So it's G.
Correct. That's correct. Yes. So surname will be G. So if question one was Steven Gerrard, obviously, another answer isn't going to be G. But then if I said to you, Suj, question 20, who has the most appearances for Manchester United in the Premier League? You would say
Giggs.
Ryan Giggs. And I think at that point, it can't be Steven Gerrard. Does that make sense?
Yes, it certainly does. I mean, I get the concept anyway, so it's for the dumb listeners that we got, James.
The correct answer on that would be Jamie Carragher. Jamie Carragher and Steven Gerrard are both over 500. Jamie Carragher 4 more than Gerrard. But obviously, the Manchester United one would be obvious that it's Giggs. The Liverpool one, you might be, I'm not so sure. So you might want to, for example, mark down Gerrard and put a C by the side to kind of, C might get taken there, for example. If it's a football club, then obviously it's first letter. So, for example, if an answer is
Manchester United,
correct, it would be M. If it's Aston Villa, it will be A. It's not. There's nothing going to be shorthanded here. Like Villa is not going to be the answer for V, for example. The majority of these answers are surnames of people. There are a couple of teams and there's a couple of other little bits, but the majority of these will be individual people, and in which case we will always be looking for the surname.
Okie dokie.
I would recommend that people have a list of 1 to 26 on one half of their paper and a list of A to Z on the other half.
And I have done exactly that, James, because you told me to off air before we started. One of the best ways to learn, James, is through your mistakes. So let's have a go, cock it up, and we'll figure it out as we're going along.
Okay, if you want to get your friends involved or anything, now's the time to press pause and come back. If you want to go and grab pen and paper, press pause. Otherwise, we shall start. Are you ready, Suj?
More than ready. I'm going to get 26 today, James. Let's go.
Okay. All of these questions are related to the Premier League, so the period of 1992 to present. Question number 1. Who scored Newcastle's equaliser when they came back from 4-0 down to draw with Arsenal in February 2011? Who scored Newcastle's equaliser when they came back from 4-0 down to draw with Arsenal in February 2011? So obviously in the case of this question, it's obviously an individual. We are looking for the surname. You don't have to know the first name, that's fine. Surname will do. And obviously the first letter used from that surname will not be used for any of the other answers.
Okie dokie.
Makes
I
sense?
think we need to get to like question 5 or 6 before I can start. That's one I don't know. So, I mean,
really?
hmm.
I thought that was just
I've got,
a gimme to start with.
I've got a couple of I've narrowed it down to, but I don't want to commit yet. I suppose when you're in the early days, it's a bit more like don't want to commit unless you 100% know.
I think I would be in a position with that one where it's a goal scored. There's a number of people, obviously, it can be if you don't know the answer. So you're probably just leaving it blank.
Mm-hmm.
Question 2. Who was the PFA player and Football Writers Player of the Year in the 2014-2015 season? Who was the PFA Player and Football Writers Player of the Year in the 2014-15 season? Suj is deep in thought. What are you thinking, Suj? Or can you not say out loud?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say out loud because I think it will just mess it up for other people. I'll pollute their good thoughts with my wrong thoughts.
I don't feel like you've written anything down yet.
No, I haven't yet. But I'm, it's just finding my time.
Are you gonna remember what the questions are?
I'm writing down. So I put Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4, PFA and Football Writers Player.
14-15.
Yeah.
Question 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which Fulham player who would later play for Liverpool was named in the PFA Team of the Season in 2002? Which Fulham player who would later play for Liverpool was named in the PFA Team of the Season in 2002? Oh, I think he's writing something, but it could be that he's writing a question again.
No, I've put Fulham - Liverpool, and then I'm going to put the answer as well, and we'll come back to it.
Question 4.
Yep.
Who was the referee in charge when the officials failed to see Pedro Mendes's long-range effort cross the line at Old Trafford in January 2005? Who was the referee in charge when the officials failed to see Pedro Mendes' long-range effort for Spurs cross the line at Old Trafford in January 2005? You happy with that one, Suj?
Yep.
Question 5. Which player joined Aston Villa in the summer of 1998 after one season with a London club, but left a month later before the season began to rejoin a club further north? Which player joined Aston Villa in the summer of 1998 after one season with a London club, but left a month later before the season began to rejoin a club further north?
And we've talked about him on the pod, James.
Maybe.
We have.
Maybe.
Remind me of the year, James.
1998. So what happened here is a player came from a club who was further north than Aston Villa, played one season in London, moved to Aston Villa, wasn't far enough north for his liking, and rejoined his former club before ever playing for Villa. He might have played from in friendlies, that was it.
Okay.
Question 6. Which club holds the longest run of consecutive games without a Premier League win?
Without a win, I thought you were going to say winning run.
No. Can't do that because it's joint. Which clubs hold the longest run of consecutive games without... What did I say?
Clubs. You're getting the two... I'm confusing you now.
Thanks,
One club.
Which one club holds the longest run of consecutive games without a Premier League win?
Cool.
Question 7. Who holds the record for most goals in a debut Premier League season?
Oh, I thought you were going to say debut match there for a second.
No. So a debut season. So the first time they'd ever appeared in the Premier League was during that season. Who holds the record for most goals in their debut Premier League season?
Okay.
Question 8.
Yep.
Who did Tottenham sign from Ajax in the summer of 2013? Who did Tottenham sign from Ajax in the summer of 2013?
Okay. So the good news is, James,
You've got an answer,
I've got 5 answers so far.
and you've got one letter used twice.
No letters so far. No letters have been used twice.
Okay, cool. Question 9. Who scored Wigan's winning goal at Stoke to help them avoid relegation with only 12 minutes of the 2010-11 season remaining? Who scored Wigan's winning goal at Stoke to help them avoid relegation with only 12 minutes of the 2010-11 season remaining? Happy there, Suj?
I mean, I've written down the question. I haven't written down an answer.
Okay. Question 10. Which player has scored the most goals from outside the penalty box in the Premier League in its history? Which player has scored the most goals from outside the penalty box?
It's a very good question. And I feel like it's one I've come across before as well.
Well, probably. But essentially, that could be a number of people, couldn't it? Could be any one of 10 or 20. Not that many, but you know what I mean. There's a number of different people that can be.
Yeah, I mean, you then start looking at your free kick specialists and stuff like that.
This is the sort of one where the letter will come in handy once, even if you leave it blank, right? Question 11. Who became the Premier League's record signing when bought by Manchester United in 2001? Who became the Premier League's record signing when bought by Manchester United in 2001?
I've got one, James.
Are you sure?
No, but, you know. Yeah, I am sure now.
Okay, interesting.
And I'm not going to tell you why I know it. I think I know it anyway.
Okay.
I'll have that letter back and I'll get rid of that letter. Okay. I know the one I swapped from A to B is a bad phrase to use, but the player I swapped to doesn't have the same starting letter as the player I started with. Okay.
Okay. I'm very concerned for you at this point.
Question. I said I was going to get 26 out of 26. We might be looking at 6 out of 26.
Somebody's going to get the lot here. We've got to. Yeah. Somebody's going to get the lot.
No doubt.
Question 12. Which African player is Portsmouth's top Premier League scorer? Which African player is Portsmouth's top Premier League scorer? That's question 12.
Give us question 13, James.
Question 13 is, which side lost 17 of 19 away games in their first Premier League season in 2009-2010? Which side lost 17 of their 19 away games in their first Premier League season in 2009-2010?
Okay.
Question 14. Who retired in 2002, having scored 59 Premier League goals in his career, and would return as chairman of one of his former clubs 4 years later? Who retired in 2002, having scored 59 Premier League goals in his career, and would return as chairman of one of his former clubs 4 years later?
59 goals in his full career, not just for that club.
No, 59 goals, 59 Premier League goals. So that's between 1992 and 2002. I'm happy to share that it was over 2 clubs.
99 to, so which years?
So retired in 2002.
And started in 90.
Well, the Premier League is from 1992.
Okay. I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
The player obviously had a career before 1992 as well.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this guy can't have scored only 59 goals in his whole career. But obviously that makes sense now.
It might be a defender.
It's not, though. Oh, come on. Let's go to 15.
Question 15.
Let me enjoy it when I do get one.
All right, mate. You can have that. I mean, for me, that one's a freebie anyway.
Yeah.
So some of our younger listeners might struggle, but I think that's a freebie.
Yeah.
Question 15. Which former Ballon d'Or winner has played for Chelsea and Manchester City? Which former Ballon d'Or winner has played for Chelsea and Manchester City? Obviously played in the Premier League, obviously. Which former Ballon d'Or winner has played for Chelsea and Manchester City in the Premier League?
Ballon d'Or.
Suj looks absolutely broken trying to remember Ballon d'Or winners.
Well, I mean, for the last 20 years, it's been shared between Messi and Ronaldo.
It's okay. I don't think we're giving anything away by naming those 2 players.
Nah, so we know it's not there. So we know we're going back a while. We're going back a while.
It's Premier League era.
Of course, yeah.
Question 16.
Okay, yep.
Can you name the current Chelsea player who appeared against them in Jose Mourinho's first Premier League defeat at Stamford Bridge?
Can I name the Premier League player, the current Chelsea player?
Correct. Who appeared against them in Jose Mourinho's first Premier League defeat at Stamford Bridge? Do you remember the Tom Campbell quiz? Yep. If you did, he mentioned that game. There you go. There's something for you. Which current Chelsea player appeared against them in Jose Mourinho's first Premier League defeat at Stamford Bridge? Question 17. I'm saying very, very slowly because Suj looks like he's in a brain moment.
I was getting confused with my numbers and questions, but I'm good.
Question 17. Which player has appeared in the Premier League for these 4 London clubs? Fulham, Queen's Park Rangers, Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham United. Which player has appeared in the Premier League for these 4 London clubs? Fulham, Queen's Park Rangers, Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham United. They are not necessarily in order of his career span. You might have noticed they're in alphabetical order.
Okay. I had an answer for, yeah. There's quite a few. If you take QPR out of the mix, there's more that comes to mind. But whether or not they played for QPR as well.
Okay. It's just those 4 London clubs, by the way. I'm not aware of anybody else who has, but if anybody else has played for 5, it's not them. It's those 4 London clubs only.
Okay.
Question 18. Aston Villa goalkeeper Peter Enkelman famously let the ball go underneath his foot and into the net in the Birmingham derby in 2002. But who took the throw-in and threw it back to him? Question 18. Aston Villa goalkeeper Peter Enkelman famously let the ball go underneath his foot and into the net in the derby at Birmingham in 2002. But who took the throw-in and threw it back to him?
Okay.
Question 19. Who was the number 10 in Manchester United's 1998-1999 treble-winning squad? Who was the number 10 in Manchester United's 1998-1999 treble-winning squad? Question 20. There have been 8 managers from Holland in the Premier League, but which one of them has managed the most Premier League games?
There have been 8, have there?
There have been 8 managers from Holland in the Premier League, but which one has managed in the most Premier League games of those 8?
Okay.
Question 21. Which player was announced as his team's new club captain last September, only to be stripped of the captaincy 5 weeks later? Which player was announced as his team's new club captain last September, only to be stripped of the captaincy 5 weeks later?
Okay. That's one I got.
Question 22. Which former Real Madrid player was relegated from the Premier League and then won the title in consecutive seasons? So which player who had previously played for Real Madrid was relegated one season and won the Premier League title the next?
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Won the title the next.
Mm-hmm. So guess what? He moved clubs, you might have guessed. Which former Real Madrid player was relegated from the Premier League and then won the Premier League title the next season?
Okay.
Question 23. Which Australian scored the opening goal in Leeds' 3-2 win at Arsenal in 2003 that confirmed Manchester United as champions? Which Australian scored the opening goal in Leeds' 3-2 win at Arsenal in 2003 that confirmed Manchester United as champions?
Okay.
Question 24. Which club finished 5th in the 2000-2001 season but were relegated the following season? Question 24. Which club finished 5th in the 2000-2001 season but were relegated the following season? Is there a reason why you're giving me 2 fingers?
No.
Because the fact that I've now said that on the audio might lead people to think it's someone who it's not.
Oh, no. I was just swearing at you because I don't like you, James. Thanks for the clue. Yeah, because 2001-2 was when I lived in Russia. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Everybody should absolutely just ignore what's been said in the last minute completely. Question 25. I can't believe I can't believe you thought you finished fifth.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think now. And now I've got okay. Now that we get to the end, I can start eliminating by process of letters. Go on. Question 25. Because as soon as you're done with all the questions, I'm taking my headphones off and I need a minute to go top to bottom and fill in the blanks with the letters that I have.
We'll give you that time.
Let's do it.
Question 25. Who joined Everton for a reported 13.5 million in 2016 from Lokomotiv Moscow and has been relegated twice from the Premier League since, whilst out on loan? Who joined Everton for a reported 13.5 million in 2016 from Lokomotiv Moscow and has been relegated twice from the Premier League since, whilst out on loan? Both of those relegations were while he has been on loan from Everton.
It's a good question, James.
Question 26. And the final question. Which former England goalkeeper was relegated with all three Premier League clubs that he made an appearance for? Which former England goalkeeper was relegated with all three Premier League clubs that he has made an appearance for?
Okay.
What we will do now.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 15 answers down, which means I've got 11 blanks to fill.
I will go through all the answers again. And then to give you an extra couple of minutes or so, rather than saying at the end what's happening content-wise, I'll speak about that for another minute or so.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So question 1 was who scored Newcastle's equaliser when they came back from 4-0 down against Arsenal in February 2011? Question 2. Question 2, who was the PFA and Football Writers Player of the Year in 2014-15? Question 3, which Fulham player who would later play for Liverpool was named in the PFA Team of the Season in 2002? Question 4, who was the referee in charge when the officials failed to see Pedro Mendes's long-range effort for Spurs cross the line at Old Trafford in January 2005? For the benefit of those on YouTube, I have no idea where Suj is. Question.
Oh, sorry.
All I could see was your shoulder, and it looked like your chair.
I wasn't even concentrating on the YouTube screen. I was literally head down on my answer sheet.
Question 5. I mean, you can do that, mate. Question 5. Which player joined Aston Villa in the summer of 1998 after one season with a London club, but left a month later before the season began to rejoin a club further north? Question 6. Which club holds the longest run of consecutive games without a Premier League win? Question 7. Who holds the record for most goals in a debut Premier League season? It's obviously individual, by the way, to clarify. Sorry. Question 8. Who did Tottenham sign from Ajax in the summer of 2013? Question 9. Who scored Wigan's winning goal at Stoke to help them avoid relegation with only 12 minutes of the 2011 season remaining. Question 10. Which player has scored the most goals from outside the penalty box in Premier League history? Question 11. Who became the Premier League's record signing when bought by Manchester United in 2001? 12 was which African player is Portsmouth's top Premier League scorer? 13. Which side lost 17 of 19 away games in their first Premier League season in 2009-10? 14. Who retired in 2002, having scored 59 Premier League goals for 2 clubs, and would return as chairman of one of his former clubs 4 years later? Question 15. Which former Ballon d'Or winner has played for Chelsea and Manchester City?
Can I just ask you, James?
Yes, mate.
I know this is a dumb question. Is Ballon d'Or's Player of the Year? Is that the top goal scorer? I can't remember.
World Player of the Year.
Player of the Year. So it's not goal scorer. It's
No.
Performance based.
World Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Question 16. Can you name the current Chelsea player who appeared against them in Jose Mourinho's first Premier League defeat at Stamford Bridge? Question 17. Which players appeared in the Premier League for these 4 London clubs? Fulham, QPR, Tottenham, West Ham. Question 18. Who took the throw-in that went under Peter Enkelman's foot in the Birmingham Aston Villa derby in 2002? Probably the most famous own goal in Premier League history, I would say. Question 19. Who was the number 10 in Manchester United's 1998-99 treble-winning squad? Question 20. There have been 8 managers from Holland in the Premier League, but which one of those 8 has managed the most games in the Premier League? Question 21. Which player was announced as his team's new club captain last September, only to be stripped of the captaincy 5 weeks later? Question 22. Which former Real Madrid player was relegated from the Premier League and then won the title the next season? So which former Madrid player would get relegated in the Premier League and then win the title the next season? 23 was which Australian scored the opening goal in Leeds' 3-2 win at Highbury in 2003 that confirmed Manchester United as champions? Question 24. Which club, not called West Ham, finished 5th in 2000-2001 but were relegated the following season? 25. Who joined Everton for a reported 13.5 million in 2016 from Lokomotiv Moscow, has been relegated twice since while out on loan from Everton? And question 26. Which former England goalkeeper was relegated with all 3 Premier League clubs that he made an appearance for? And breathe, James. Thoughts, Suj? How are you getting on?
Badly.
What does that mean?
19 answers on paper. Confident on maybe 10.
I'm just interested to know, just kind of for the benefit of the listeners, keep the while people are thinking, keep it going a bit longer. What letters have you got unfulfilled?
F.
Mm-hmm.
U. No, that's a joke. No, F, G.
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
Have I used M up? No, I have. O.
Yeah.
U.
Yeah.
W and Z.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, how many answers can be with a Z?
Not many. Not many. I think the issue here is now time, because I could do with 10 minutes just to start, like, deciphering. It's like a jigsaw, isn't it? I've got answers that I could move around, but we don't have time on a podcast, unfortunately, for me to spend 10 minutes in silence.
I would say for anybody watching on YouTube or listening to the audio,
pause.
At this point, yes, it is absolutely okay to pause for 5 minutes and give yourself some time to finish this off. Because what I would say is as well, once I start reading out the answers, you can't start adding them with this because you're gaining an advantage. So once I start giving out the answers, that's it. So if you want to take a little bit of time now, do so. Content-wise, Suj, we did a good podcast Monday night.
Was it? Was it right?
Yeah, a bit on
Nice.
football's restart. Some brilliant Twitter questions where me and Suj revealed a little bit too much about our love life on one question, I think, from our younger years. And we did a really good section from minute 44, obviously on Champman FPL chip strategy, if anyone wants to listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, we did a podcast on the rules on gambling for footballers. Tomorrow, we're going to do a podcast on the career of Paul Gascoigne. Friday, I'll be streaming, and obviously, I'll do my Champman FPL streams tonight if you're listening on Wednesday, and also obviously on Saturday afternoon.
Are you done with your wildcard, James?
My wildcard is active. Yes, I know what team I'm picking.
You do, eh?
Yes.
Enjoy. Cool. Well, that's going to be fun tonight. Let's get through these answers because I want to know what they are so I can stop punching myself in the face.
The worst bit here as well is, for those now rejoining the audio, welcome back. Obviously, as I read some of these answers out, you're going to know that others are wrong. Correct. And it's going to make you realise about some that you've left blank as well.
It's all right. It's all right. If I get 0, James, I get 0. Who cares?
You can't get 0. I
I'm not going to get 0.
I reckon someone.
I'm not going to get 0.
I know I've said it a few times, but I really do think someone will get the lot on this.
I've got a few here. I reckon if I get double figures, I'm going to be dancing on the rooftops. And if I get more than 6 or 7, I'll be happy.
I think
time restraints, I need more time.
If you've got
Everton player on loan.
If you've got that's gonna kick you. It's gonna kick you. Do you really not know that?
I probably do, but I just need to think about it for a minute.
Think FPL for that one, maybe. I don't know.
From 2016 and 17 and 17-18, or the last 2 seasons.
So he was bought. What season was he bought? He was bought in 2016. Since then, it's been 3 completed seasons. Would that be correct to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been relegated in 2 of the 3 of them with different clubs whilst out on loan.
Interesting. Can't be very good then.
That's a debate in itself. I forgot what I was going to say now.
The answers. Question number 1. Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4.
Okay. Do you know it? Or do you think you've got it?
I didn't have an answer for the letter A. I went with Aspria, but I feel like he's a lot older.
You know these answers aren't in order, right?
I do. I do.
You're really scaring me now.
I mean, just like him.
Asprilla is about 10 years too late. Can you not think of the goal? Crossed in from the right, it's headed out and then volleyed in, left-footed, right into the bottom corner.
Nope.
Correct answer is Tiote. Tiote.
Nah, don't remember it at all. I remember checking Tiote, but yeah, okay.
So that is T. But obviously, T will not suffice as an answer. You do need Tiote. Yep. I don't care about spellings because I can't check your answers. Question 2. Who was the PFA and Football Writers Player of the Year in 2014-15?
Parker. Scott Parker.
No. You're about 5 years late.
He won it. He won both in one season, right? I remember we were talking about it.
Yeah, I think that was in 2011, I think.
I can't remember. Okay. Well, I was trying to use the logic from a previous podcast where we talked about how you guys were garbage, yet he won both awards or something.
It was for you. It wasn't for us.
And then he went on to you after.
That came back and bit you. Yeah. The Premier League champions that year were Chelsea. The player of the year was Hazard. Correct answer is H. Hazard.
Right, so as we're going down, I'm marking the ones where I've used the letter further down incorrect. So I've got 4 wrong, even though you've given me 2 incorrect answers.
That is fantastic. Question 3. Who was the Fulham player named in the 2002 PFA Team of the Season who would later play for Liverpool?
I don't know. Danny Murphy?
No, Danny Murphy would have played for Fulham after Liverpool.
That's what I thought, and then I just couldn't think of who played the other way.
This is another one on a quiz we did not long ago on a question 20, where I gave you 5 players that were in a PFA Team of the Season, and one of them was a lie. One of them that was the truth was Steve Finnan. Steve Finnan. F for Finnan is the answer. Played in the Champions League final for Liverpool,
Finnan.
mate.
That's okay. Yeah. It's just not a name that comes to mind that often.
Have you used F?
No.
Oh, it's only 5 wrong then. Question 4 was, who was the referee in charge when Pedro Mendes scored at Old Trafford when it crossed the line after Roy Carroll dropped it, but it wasn't given? Any ideas, Suj?
Well, the first letter I had on my list that I hadn't used was C, so I just went with Clattenburg.
Mark Clattenburg is the correct answer.
Oh, yeah, baby. That was a pure guess. So, you know.
I went with the first answer that I hadn't used.
I just went down the list.
So sorry, just to clarify here, did you use A, B, and C in questions 1 to 4?
No, as in further down the list. So when we were wrapping up at the end, I was like, hang on, I haven't used C, Clattenburg, that'll do.
I even tried to help you by doing the first 4 letters as THFC, but there you go.
Okay. Villa 1998. I haven't got a clue, mate.
Well, the London club that he left, Suj, was West Ham. Is that going to make you feel better?
No.
The correct answer is David Unsworth. Left Everton for West Ham, claimed that he was unsettled and wanted to move back further north. Signed for Aston Villa and realised it wasn't quite far enough north, and so then moved straight on again without making a competitive appearance for them and rejoined Everton. Correct answer is you, David Unsworth.
I don't like David Unsworth because he did naff all for me in my Champman FPL team. So, you know what? He can go and do one.
All right. Question 6. Which club holds the longest run of consecutive games without a Premier League win? Have you got an answer? What's the answer?
Yes.
It's a wrong one.
Derby County.
Derby County is the correct answer. Yes. D.
Hallelujah.
Derby County. 32 games without a win in the 2007-2008 season. And should they ever get promoted again, that record will continue if they don't win the first game of the season. It is an ongoing record, essentially, as and when they come back. Question 7. Which individual holds the record for most goals in a debut Premier League season? Who you got?
Well, I know I got it wrong because Tiote was the answer to question 1, and I put down Torres. But then...
Okay.
Yeah. So.
It's not the worst shout. I think a lot here might have got tripped up with Salah. It's not Salah because obviously Salah had played for Chelsea.
Right.
Correct answer is Kevin Phillips, who scored 30 goals for Sunderland in 1999-2000. So P, Phillips. Kevin Phillips is the correct answer.
Okay.
Question 8 is the sort of one I really liked because it's a little bit naughty because although it's a straightforward question, it could be a couple of different answers. Who did Tottenham sign from Ajax in the summer of 2013?
Sony Ericsson. Christian Eriksen.
Christian Eriksen is the correct answer.
Yeah,
yes. Jan Vertonghen had been brought from Ajax the previous year. And obviously, Toby Alderweireld had played for Ajax, but was actually bought from Atletico Madrid in 2015.
Cool.
Question 9. Who scored Wigan's goal at Stoke to help them avoid relegation with only 12 minutes of the 10-11 season remaining?
Izquierdo?
Of Brighton?
Well, I don't know. I just had no answer for I, and my... Do
you know what's so random about that? I think they might even be from the same country.
Really?
I'd have to check that out maybe, but they
Nah, I
might
don't
be.
know. Don't
The
know.
correct
What?
answer, because I've got like Jonathan Ross and forgot me ours, is Hugo Rodallega.
Ah, Rodiega.
That is your R, Hugo Rodallega.
That makes number 26 incorrect, but there we go.
Question 10 is one I think would have been a good one to leave and come back to. Which player has scored the most goals from outside the penalty box in Premier League history?
I didn't have an answer for L, so I was going to go. I went with Lampard.
It's the correct answer. Don't talk yourself out of it.
Mate, I'm on 4 out of 10
Lampard
so
is
far,
correct.
so 40% at the moment. So if I could cash in now and leave, I'd take it. I was thinking about Bex as well, but then B got used a bit later on, so I didn't go with
You got to
Bex.
think of longevity a bit as well, haven't you? So Beck's actually is only about 7 Premier League years or so, isn't it?
Yeah.
Frank Lampard, 41 goals from outside the penalty area is the most. Question 11. I think this was one that could have tripped people up as well. Who became the Premier League's record signing when bought by Manchester United in 2001?
So I've gone with the £12 million Champman FPL asset, Juan Sebastian Veron.
Juan Sebastian Veron is the correct answer.
Yeah.
The reason I thought it could have tripped people up is because Manchester United paid $1 million more for Rio Ferdinand the following year. Question 12. Which African player is Portsmouth's top Premier League scorer?
I've gone with my Y for Yakubu.
Yakubu is the correct answer, yeah. It was not that many more than Benjani, actually. It was closer than I thought it would be, but yeah, Yakubu is the correct answer. That's your Y.
James, I'm on 6 out of 12, 50%.
There you go. You're feeling quite happy with yourself now, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's not so good on the bottom half.
So which side lost 17 of their 19 away games in their first Premier League season in 09-10?
I don't know. The answer I put down is incorrect because we used H already for... Which answer was H?
Huddersfield, I'm going to guess you put.
No, I put Hull.
Oh, Hull, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I put Hull.
But obviously Hull had a few away wins, didn't they? And when they first come up, they started really well that first season. Correct answer is Burnley.
Okay. And that means my B is wrong. But, that's all right.
At least, Suj, we know that you've got question 14, maintaining your 50% record. Who retired?
Really?
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah. Who retired in 2002, having scored 59 Premier League goals and later returned to one of those clubs as chairman 4 years later?
Noel Quinn.
Niall Quinn is the correct answer. Yes, obviously finished his career at Sunderland. He did actually play one game to help out a club in Asia in 2006 because they had ties with Arsenal. But obviously returned as Sunderland chairman in 2006. And not long after, they returned to the Premier League with Roy Keane. Question 15. I feel like Suj has got this as blank.
Yeah, it's blank. Mate.
Which former Ballon d'Or winner?
I'm going to kick myself with this one.
Well, of course you are, because there's only so many people it can be, right?
Exactly.
I think the problem is you can't think of anyone that it can be. The former Ballon d'Or winner who's played for Chelsea and Manchester City is George Weah, who played 18 games and scored 4 goals for the two clubs in 2000. Weah was FIFA World Player of the Year Ballon d'Or winner in 1995.
With Milan, I'm assuming.
Correct, yeah. The only African player ever to win it.
So few games across both clubs that it almost becomes a forgot that even.
Yeah, you forget it.
With Chelsea, but not City. But yeah, there you go.
You forget it. Question 16.
I got the incorrect answer.
You got the incorrect answer. Who is the current Chelsea player who appeared against them in Jose Mourinho's first Premier League defeat at Stamford Bridge?
I've got Ross Barkley, but obviously not.
Okay. No, it's not Ross Barkley.
I'm just trying to think of players in the current squad that would have been around in the Premier League elsewhere back then.
which I think if you take that route makes it quite difficult. It's obviously helpful if you can remember which team won there. If you remember when Tom Campbell came on, he asked us who was in goal for Chelsea in that fixture when they lost to Sunderland towards the end of the 2013-14 season. Does that even help you, me saying Sunderland?
Hang on. So they're in the current Chelsea squad.
Yeah, now, yeah. It's very much like for his FPL returns when he does play. I'll put you out your,
yeah, go on.
I'll put you out your misery. The correct answer is Marcus Alonso.
He played for Sunderland back
there.
there.
You go, exactly, right? Yep. Marcus Alonso, yes.
You just assume he'd come from like a Spanish club or something.
He came from Fiorentina, I think, but he'd been at Sunderland before, and I can promise you he didn't tear any trees up, mate.
Yeah, okay.
But I remember Spurs played against Fiorentina in Europe before he joined Chelsea, and suddenly he looked like a very good player.
Yep.
Question 17. Which player appeared in the Premier League for the 4 London clubs? Said Fulham, QPR, Tottenham and West Ham. Come on, Suj.
Blank.
When the ball hits the net. No? Still not got it? It's Bobby Zamora, mate.
Fuck, of course it is. Too obvious now. Yeah.
Blinding.
Remember him from all of them as well. That's the thing. I suppose of all of those, maybe Spurs is his least memorable stint.
He was only at Spurs for 5 months, basically.
Yeah. That's probably it. Like, if you'd have not included Spurs, I'd have been more likely to go with Zamora. It's the Spurs stint that's the least memorable of them all.
I think that the one that people might have put as an alternative there, which is Naughty, I can't remember if he had a spell at QPR or not. It's Paul Konchesky. Obviously, Paul Konchesky played for Charlton as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he played for QPR. Suddenly something rung in my head when I was reading the question out. I was like, shit, has Konchesky played for all of these as well? The correct answer is Bobby Zamora. Konchesky obviously played for Charlton as well. That's why I added these 4 London clubs only. Question 18. Who threw the ball back to Peter Enkelman when it rolled underneath his foot for the own goal at Birmingham in 2002?
Got a blank for that one.
I
think who was in defence for them that could have fitted any of the letters that I had left.
That's easily forgettable, but I thought as it was Champ Man era, you might have got this. It's Olaf Melberg.
You see, I did think about Staunton or Melberg or Barry, but I'd used my M further up for Murphy. So, yeah.
Olaf Melberg, yeah. When he takes the throw in, the cameraman's about a yard from him. Never get away with social distancing with that now, mate. I'm telling you. Question 19. Who wore 10 in the 99 Manchester United treble squad?
Don't know.
No, come on. You must have an answer.
I hadn't used my S, so I put down Sharp, but well, this is stupid. I was just trying to think of which letters could I find. I was thinking Giggs, because I hadn't used my G, but Giggs is always board 11.
Such dearie me.
I have no idea.
He's the player beginning with S. It's Teddy.
Did he?
It's Teddy, mate. It's Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah, I was just thinking who was around there. Like, Van Nistelrooy wouldn't have worn it. Giggs wouldn't have worn it. I just couldn't think who. There was no real number 10. Bex wouldn't have worn it.
Well,
he was number 7 or whatever he was at the time.
Bex wore 10. He wore 24, 10, and then 7. But he moved to 7 when Cantona left, and Sheringham took over the 10 shirt. Ruud van Nistelrooy did wear 10 for Manchester United, but obviously was not there then. The other strikers, Andy Cole was 9, Dwight York was 19, and Solskjaer was 20.
Couldn't use Cole because all my letters were gone. I was like, just find me an S.
He scored in the Champions League final and the FA Cup final.
When did he not score? He's a pretty regular goal scorer. But the champ man, he's at Spurs, right?
Yeah, well, it's 3 years later, isn't it? Question 20. I really liked this question because actually it surprised me a little bit because I was like, oh, that's a good stat, actually. Who was the Dutch manager that's managed the most Premier League games of the 8 Dutchmen to manage over here?
So Hiddink was gone because H was gone.
Gus?
Van anyone was gone because Veron was in.
I
So
intentionally didn't use any Vans, by the way, because some Vans apparently are considered as part of surnames and some are not. So, for clarity, I didn't use any
avoided
Vans.
it all and gone with Yol.
It's right, yeah. It is Martin Yole, yeah. That's J, obviously.
Yep.
But it is Martin Yole, yeah. It's about I think it's 201 games he's managed in, which is it's around about 80 more than Ronald Koeman.
Okay.
So it's by a lot as well. Question 21 was, which player was announced as his new team's club captain last September, only to be stripped of the captaincy 5 weeks later?
I reckon I got that one. It's Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, it is Granit Xhaka. Yeah, absolutely right. Obviously, threw a hissy fit, didn't he?
Yep.
When he got substituted. And,
when he got substituted, or when he got a tirade of abuse from his own fans?
Well, it all happened at the same time, didn't he?
Okay, so
he told Arsenal fans what I've told him to do many a times. Question 22. I know that you don't know this, Suj, and I think it's going to eat you up a little bit.
I don't take my life too seriously enough to care, James, but go on.
Which former Real Madrid player was relegated from the Premier League and then won the Premier League title the next season? I think the problem with this question is once you mention Real Madrid, you instantly think of foreign players. The correct answer is Michael Owen. Was relegated with Newcastle. And then obviously had a title winner with Manchester United.
Yeah, again, quite a lot of these players in some of these answers have been at these clubs in bit parts of their career. Like Owen at Man United is just a non-part of his career.
I feel there might be an error with that question, thinking about it.
Now,
I think there's 2 years between the relegation and the title win. I think Newcastle got relegated in 2009, Chelsea won the title in 10, and then United won it in 11.
Well, if people get it, they do.
Where have I read that stat incorrectly?
I don't know, but there's no prizes for this quiz, so it doesn't matter. There's no £50,000 cash prize. And whilst we're on that, James, just from an earlier question in the quiz, for your own sanity, Paul Konchesky did play for Queen's Park Rangers.
Did he? Wow.
But he started at Charlton. From Charlton, he spent a loan period at Spurs, after which he moved to West Ham. From West Ham, he went to Fulham, then to Leicester when he had a loan period at Nottingham Forest. Liverpool where he had a loan period at Nottingham Forest, then to Leicester. And from Leicester, he spent 1 season on loan at Queen's Park Rangers, making 34 appearances.
Wow. I don't know if QPR was in the Premier League, in fairness. I'm glad
15,
I added
16.
that. I'm glad I added that line about these 4 London clubs only. It literally came to me. I was reading it out.
Yeah, there you go. So
apologies if I cocked up question 22. But
no one cares.
No one cares. Question 23 could really only be one of 2 people, couldn't it, Suj? So which one did you go for?
Well, I'd used V for Veron, so I went with Kuehl.
Yes, Harry Kuehl scored the opening goal for Leeds in the 3-2 win at Highbury in 2003. Mark Viduka scored the last of the game. Question 24. Which club, which obviously wasn't West Ham, finished 5th in 2000-2001 but were relegated the following season?
Newcastle.
Ipswich Town.
Ah, yeah, git. Yeah, so that 2001-2, so we 5th in 2001-2, right?
2000-2001.
Ah, sorry. Okay, because 2001-2, I missed that season living out in Russia, and then the season I came back, we got relegated in 2-3.
That's correct, yeah. But you definitely didn't finish 5th the year before, boy.
Yeah. No, sorry. Okay. That's why I thought, you know what? I thought you were trying to stitch me up with West Ham there. Go on. Okay, Ipswich.
It's question 25. Who joined Everton for 13.5 million in 2016 has been relegated twice on loan since?
What letters have we got left, James?
Energy. You've got energy.
NRG.
N and G.
Oh, N and G.
I've got energy, energy. I'll tell you what, I'll help you out there a bit, because if you look at 23, that's a K. 24 is an I. So 25 is an N and the 26 is a G to spell king. So I've got THFC and king at the start and the end of this quiz. So it's an N, Suj. Do you know the answer yet?
No.
Relegated with Hull City and Cardiff City. The answer is Umar Niasse.
Okay. He's still on Everton's books, eh?
He is still on Everton's books.
Okay.
Question 26. Which former England goalkeeper was relegated with all 3 Premier League clubs that he made an appearance for? We've only got G left, Suj. One of the clubs he was relegated with was West Ham United.
Which... Gee, so I put down Robinson to start with. I didn't know if he went down with Leeds and
He definitely didn't go down with Tottenham, mate.
Did Paul Robinson play at Southampton though? A few games. No.
No, just Leeds, Tottenham, Blackburn. Oh, and Burnley,
Villa.
obviously.
Didn't he play at Villa?
No, Burnley made a couple of appearances for.
So goalkeeper that got relegated. G.
One of the clubs is West Ham.
Given.
Former England goalkeeper.
Oh fuck yeah, you said that.
Also Norwich.
Gunn? No. This can't be.
And Queen's Park Rangers. It's Rob Green.
Oh.
Rob Green is the answer. Who obviously was on the books of Chelsea as well, but never made a Premier League appearance for Chelsea, which is why he did say in the question all 3 clubs that he'd made a Premier League appearance for.
Mm-hmm. Rob Green was, a good goalkeeper, but just, I suppose it's the way of the position that you get pulled up on random mistakes that you make that really do stand out like a sore thumb. But he was a good goalkeeper. He
was very decent for you, in fairness, prior to the 2010 World Cup. Hence the fact he obviously started that tournament as England's number 1. He wasn't England's number 1 come game 2 after he let Clint Dempsey's shot go past him in England's opener in South Africa.
Yeah.
That's your lot.
10 out of 26. I got to double figures, James.
Well done.
I'll take it. Given a bit more time, I might have done a little bit more. The likes of Zamora, for example, if I'd have thought, okay, which Premier League players had the letter Z, that might have come to me and what have you. But, I was never going to get more than 15 or 14. So I'll take my 10 and I'll move on because I've still got to make my transfers in my Champman FPL team tonight.
Very well done. Good luck.
What else you've told everybody what else we have coming already. So if you didn't hear it earlier, then what were you doing? We're probably doing what I was doing, which is slaving over
trying to get answers.
Sheet.
Paul Gascoigne tomorrow.
Yes. There is, if you are a Champman FPL player, don't forget James' stream tonight, which you can make sure you're on by hitting subscribe and like on YouTube. Huge night tonight with no Henry, no Van Persie, no Middlesbrough assets, no Man United assets. This is the...
I think you mean Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy, sorry, yeah. This is tonight's the night where we could see some real divergence in teams, scores, the lot.
For those who are playing the Champman FPL game, and apologies to those who are not to finish on this, but essentially this game that we are playing, this is chip season. It's now.
Followed by a look at Gaza tomorrow and the live streams for the rest of the week. We do hope you enjoyed this quiz. It was a good one. Ran on a little longer than we thought it might take, but, it was worth it. Enjoyable.
Shit happens. That was good fun.
Indeed. Thank you so much, James. Ciao.
My pleasure. Be nice to each other, everybody. Cue music, man, child.
Yeah, stay safe and wash your hands.
Yeah, and that jazz. Bye.